Hello friends, this is Coldrun back with Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We're here in Camp Broken Glass, where we started the series of little side quests between Appius, an Imperial Engineer, and Rimmelno, I guess he's Ishgardian. I think he's Ishgardian, an Ishgardian machinist. And I also have my new minion out, Zloe, maybe, who I got from completing a line in the... what do you call it? In the Wondrous Tales. I was able to turn in a reward for her, so I got a little Zloe. Anyway, Rimmelno. Operation Reactivation. Rimmelno is now surprisingly keen to get the platform up and running. If there are no objections, I will speak to the quartermaster about getting the necessary men and supplies for this operation straight away. He's stationed just over there in the pavilion. Could I trouble you to accompany me? It might help if another can testify to Appius's sincerity and competence. Absolutely, Appius. Great idea. What are we waiting for? No, you're not the one who's going to help with this. Rimmelno. One would think he didn't have a care in the world. Let us pray that Estelo is amused rather than irritated. He's such a... This is a great side character right here. He is just Appius is just a bundle of joy. In the face of everything going on, especially, he's so enthusiastic and so optimistic. I could see why Rimmelno would go for him. Appius. Whew, nerves are really setting in now. Rimmelno. This is the Quartermaster Estelo. Have you two not met? The Quartermaster Estelo. I think I've met him briefly. Ah, Rimmelno. I see you've brought Mistress Kakushu and... Is that the envoy from Tapper's Den? Rimmelno. Yes? You see, sir, it all began with Appius here. Yeah, tells the story. Vouches for Appius, as he should. Estelo. I see. It would certainly be a boon to us if the platform was restored to working order. Appius. No doubt! So you agree to help? Estelo. On one condition. You must first confirm that the platform can be reactivated. I like that he's not, like, being hyper-suspicious of Appius here. That he takes Rimmelno's word that he's not going to try to get up to any shenanigans. We aren't blessed with a surfeit of personnel and resources, you know. Thus are reaching out to the Tappers to begin with. We cannot waste time and manpower on operations with little chance of success. Rimmelno, you are tasked with assessing the current state of Uterna Platform G, as well as the precise resources we would need to commit to reactivating it. I shall make my final decision on how to proceed only once I'm fully abreast of the situation. Estelo is a good quartermaster. Rimmelno. Yes, sir. Appius. In that case, Kakushu and I will accompany you. Rimmelno. You really ought to stop making decisions on Kakushu's behalf, but I would be glad for the company. Meet us at Uterna Platform G, if you would. Appius can help me carry the equipment. See you there. Hopefully you're okay with this, Estelo. If it can be reactivated, that platform will play a key role in restoring these lands to their former habitability. I pray you return with good tidings. Yeah, Estelo is just flat-out good guy. Good quartermaster, good guy. Rimmelno. This is an Imperial facility, to be sure. Garish, if you ask me. Really? Imperial facilities are weird for an empire, but Imperial facilities don't seem to be known for their garishness. Maybe the palaces, but they seem to be known for more their uniformity of style and economy of form. Appius. Oh, wrong person. Appius. Ah, I do so miss the days when we had a full crew. Pumping and tinkering and operating heavy machinery on too little sleep. That's not a great thing. That last part, at least. As much as I would like to know what in the hell's you're... Oh, Rimmelno. As much as I would like to know what in the hell's you're on about, we have no time to be revisiting old memories. We're here for one reason and one reason only. Appius. I know. At least the exterior seems unharmed. I'll head inside and have a look around. Can you two stay here and make sure nothing large and hungry is waiting for me when I come back? Sure. We will guard you against the Zoblins. Rimmelno. That sounds reasonable. Kakushu, let us keep our wits about us. Appius. Excellent. I'll see you both in a bit. Is this going to be a wait? Yeah, here we are. Pigeon, you want to say hello to anyone watching? Okay. Uh-oh. Is that a good face or a bad face? Rimmel, no. Ah, Appius. How did it look? Appius. The equipment appears undamaged, though temperatures are so low that we'll need to be careful about how we turn everything on again. It's just... Rimmel, no. What? Is there another issue? Appius. In a word, yes. I couldn't find the identification key. Without it, there's no way to activate the platform, even if it were in pristine condition. Rimmel, no. And why exactly was it designed with such an obvious flaw? So, is this just so... I imagine it's for this very situation, to make sure that, like, the enemies of the Empire wouldn't be able to use their stuff. Appius. Flaw? You turn a Platform G as the capital's main supplier of ceruleum. It wouldn't do if anyone could turn it off and on, would it? The key is always kept secure, and there are only 2 people able to open the container it's usually stored in. Myself and Chief Frontinus. I haven't seen him since this blasted war began, but I can only imagine he's out there somewhere, key in hand. You means he avoided being tempered? Why do you think he avoided being tempered? Couldn't he just have been tempered and you just didn't see? You just haven't seen him yet? There's plenty of people you haven't... I don't quite get it. You think he took it? Oh, because the tempered wouldn't care about this. Okay. Appius. I've never met anyone quite as loyal to the Empire as Chief Frontinus. He probably took the key to stop anyone from misusing the platform. Did I see Chief Frontinus at Tertium? I don't remember. I don't think so, but maybe. Rimmel, no. Then I'd say he succeeded in his aim. If it stayed dormant this whole time and out of the hands of the warring factions. Appius. Indeed. Now we just need to find out where he is. I'm sorry for wasting your time. There's no way we can get this place up and running without that key. Rimmel, no. Don't tell me you're going to give up just like that? Yeah, not after I found a No, let's go with a more serious answer. Not after I found a carburetor for you, you don't... Or let's find another way to activate it. Yeah, we can get this. Appius. I suppose you're right. With the 3 of us together, surely we can think of something. Power of friendship. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. I like that little victory triumph music. In these contexts, not after the friggin' Quintus incident. Appius. I appreciate your optimism, but how are we going to solve this problem? I don't know. You guys look over here, and I'll check in this area, and hopefully we'll find him. Energy for all. Rimmel has precisely 1 solution in mind, which is notably better than 0. Rimmel, is there really no way to bypass the mechanism that the identification key interacts with? Appius. What exactly do you mean? Rimmel, I work at the manufactory in Ishgard. I once watched my superior, as is his way, dismantle a Magitech armament and put it back together again. He succeeded in bypassing the verification mechanism required to activate the machine by rewiring it. I was wondering if something similar wouldn't be possible with this platform. Actually, that's a good way to look at it. Appius. That's something a second-rate thief would do. Rimmel, well, beggars can't be choosers. Save your chief engineer appearing out of thin air. It's likely our only option. Good. I'm glad we don't just have to find the chief engineer. Appius. You've got a point there. And far be it from me to turn down a proposal from an esteemed colleague. I'm so glad to have you at my disposal. Again, this is just canon, this relationship. It's just canon. Rimmel, that's the spirit, I suppose. I shall return to camp to inform the quartermaster of our plan. He should be willing to spare an external power source and a few other tools if I vow to return them soon. Perhaps even some extra pairs of hands. I hope so, but I mean, he's a good guy, but he's kind of closed-fisted, as well he should be. So I don't know, but maybe he will. Appius. That leaves me to open up the control panel and rearrange a few things before Rimmel returns. In the meantime, I thank you to keep an eye out for anything that might eat him on the way back. There were never so many beasts around here before, but they must have gotten comfortable without us traipsing back and forth across the ice. A little too comfortable, if you ask me. Yeah, this has got to be a different situation from what you're used to. So what am I looking for? Just clearing out some beasts before they get here? I guess. Destination. Oh, yeah, just clearing out some beasts. Riotous Rose and Ceruleum Slush Zoblin. Appius, I've done all that I can for now. I even caught the end of your battle with those creatures. Spectacular! Yeah, I'm quite something. Rimmelno, ready to get to work, I hope. Oh, you got hands, nice. Other machinists, by the looks of it, by their guns. Of course, Appius, of course, all that's left is to engage in a bit of Ishgardian skullduggery. Rimmelno, I'm not sure I care for that turn of phrase, but very well. We'll attach the power devices, which should allow you to utilize the control panel. Appius, thrilling! Oh my god, you are precious, Appius. You must be protected. This place will be up and running before you know it. Just stand back and watch the master at work. I'm pumped. And it looks like the ceruleum vent is about to get pumped too. Not vent. Power platform, whatever this is. The ceruleum MacGuffin. I don't know if that's a MacGuffin. I'm not sure. Maybe that's too narrow a definition. Well, that's a good sound. Unless it's going to crack through the ice and destroy us all, but I think it's a good sound. Yeah, no, we're up and running. Nice job, Appius. Rimmelno, it worked, yes? I think it did. Appius, you bet it did. There's life in the old girl yet. Aw, hell yeah. Of course, there's still a lot of work to be done to get it ready to extract and refine ceruleum, but we're off to an excellent start. Which means Garlemald just took its first steps on the road to recovery. I cannot thank you both enough. Yeah, oh my god, he does a little enthusiastic jump and pump. Fist pump, specifically. That's fucking teamwork. Well, look at that. It would look nicer if that ominous, spiky Imperial Tower, I think it's a Tower of Babel, weren't looming in the background. Appius. I'll be feeling that thrill for days. Fortunate am I to have such brilliant new friends. Rimmelno. I'm pleased that this plan was a success after all. I appreciate your seeing it through to the end. We can leave the rest of the engineers I brought with me. They're more than capable of keeping the place operational until we're prepared for the next phase. Now, let us return to camp and inform Estelo of our triumph. Yeah, victory lap is well-deserved right now. ... And it seems I won't have to wait any longer to wait. I trust your eagerness is a sign that you've had some success? Rimmelno, yes, sir. We were able to access the platform's control and confirm it is operational. There's still adjustments to be made, but I imagine it won't be long until it's fully operational. Estolo, splendid. If the camp can secure a stable supply of energy, we can begin rebuilding throughout the region. It will doubtless give succor to those in Tapper's Den and the capital proper as well. One of our goals when we first came here was to improve the lives of those that can still call this frozen land home, and you have made a great contribution toward realizing that ambition. Rimmelno, thank you, sir. Appius, I certainly wouldn't have made it this far without your goblins. What the fuck was that word? Without your genius, why did I... Whatever. The days when Garlemald looked toward a bright future seem so distant now that the snow and frost have reclaimed their dominion. But I, for one, am petting a cat because he's meowing like hell. What is it, Pigeon? I don't know, I'm petting him. But I, for one, am ready to embark on the same journey that my ancestors once did and build a new home around the warmth of cerulean flame. See, this is what makes Quintus's suicide so tragic. Above, like, there was no reason he couldn't have been this too. There's no reason he couldn't have been enthusiastic to rebuild Garlemald and to make it anew. But I guess it's not. His vision of Garlemald wasn't about warmth and comfort and peace for its citizens, and his vision of it was about one that was dominant over its enemies, and that was no longer possible. Rimmel, no. I'm certain that when the time comes, I shall be proud to know that I worked alongside you. I must thank you as well. You have taught me to listen with sincerity to the words of those who I would otherwise have unjustly scorned. Is my helm was gold for a second. That was a weird visual bug. Rimmel, no. Maybe that was just the light hitting it in a weird way. I imagine it will be some time before we can return Laterum to its former inhabitants, but I promise that when we do, it will be in a better state than when you left. I actually wonder, wouldn't it be kind of cool if Camp Broken Glass and Laterum were the Idyllshire and Doman Enclave of this game? I don't expect that to be the case, but that would be kind of neat. Appius, well, then we'd better get to work. Rimmel, no. Ah, we indeed. Yeah, you are a we. Sorry for going hard in that. I'm excited. I like them. I like them a lot together. I think we've seen all of this. I don't think I've seen Borscht before. Uka. Borscht, a traditional red Garlean soup made of beetroot. Simple to cook, and it's a great favorite in both civilian and military kitchens. Isn't borscht usually cold? I'd be surprised if a cold soup is... I guess borscht is popular in Russia, and Russia's cold as hell, so... I need to learn how to make borscht. Anyway, we're going to continue with the main story quest now. Strange Bedfellows. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. So I'm going to go with Alizé and Julius to Tertium. Here we are, outside Tertium. First Legion soldier. What are you doing back here? Where are Julius and the others? Yeah, you haven't heard the news, have you? Really? You haven't heard the news? I guess you haven't. I would have thought that you would have heard the news, given the suicide, but maybe not yet. You were just standing guard here, probably. Graha. Oh, I did not expect you to arrive so soon. There's been a development. Perhaps you had best see for yourself. Oriange. 'Tis a comfort to see thee none the worse for thy recent ordeals. Alizé. What development is this? Oh no, of course you haven't heard you haven't heard Quintus. You haven't heard about Quintus. I was assuming that everyone knew about it, but I forgot. I was privileged to see it as the player. Privileged. Alizé. Kakushu and Julius. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Julius, too late for what? What's happened? First Legion soldier, it's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Oh, that was him! Then, when he was alone, he... Julius, no. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't, he did. Oriange, Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course, the legatus shall be afforded a proper burial. First Legion soldier, he released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Yeah. Julius, without him to guide us, Grahatia, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. First Legion soldier. Some would rather die. Yeah, we've seen that pretty clearly. But most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned. We just want to live. And you could... I don't know if it's a good... I'll be really curious at the end of all this, because I assume that Garlemald is still going to be a functioning nation by the end of this. A functioning state. I don't know... By the end of this expansion, I'll be really curious to see if they maintain their flag, or if they change the ivory standard, because it has just so many negative connotations to those it's oppressed, and the origins of it, and everything about it. I'll be really curious to see that. Alizé, we'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see that they reach the camp safely. Yeah, here we go. Julius, yeah, just in utter shock. I do not blame you. Everything he knows, all the structures, just continuing to crumble around him. First Legion soldier. After what happened to his family, the first was all Julius had left. Now even that's been taken away from him. Yep, everything, literally everything. This is every day is like the new worst day of his life. He's not alone in that either. There's a comfort in having someone to follow, someone to lead. I imagine that's one of the appeals of an empire to those inside it. Rostic, who are those who support it, I should say. To think we'd end up taking the First Legion themselves, or what remains of them, into our care. Not so long ago such a thing would have been inconceivable, but these are strange times indeed. They are. Theodora, how are you doing in all this? Personally, but it's not like I'm best friends with Theodora. I've met her, like I've talked to her briefly once. I do hope the Ilsebard contingent actually makes some kind of difference around here. So she's open to it, at least. Oh, someone was on a mount. Can I mount up here? I guess I can. I assumed it would be indoors. Chuchuto. Leave the roads covered, don't you worry. Things may get chaotic out there, but just take it as slow and steady as you can, alright? Yeah, we're helping out best we can. I'll also be curious to see if there are any members of the Ilsebard contingent who are secretly here for vengeance. Who are secretly here to, like, kick the Empire while they're down and kick the Garleans while they're down. I kind of doubt it, but it'll be an interesting wrench to throw into the works. I'm on you. No matter what may be... Oh, that's right. So this hasn't changed. Urianger. To employ healing magics now would likely invite catastrophe, as thou canst attest from thy experiences at Victor's spoils. Indeed, the Garleans view our ability to manipulate ether with the same suspicion that many Eorzeans do Magitech. Yeah, that's... I would like to think that you could just bulldoze past that, but we learned from Licinia that you really, really can't. Okay. A lot of these are just the same dialogue, but not this one. Spurious. Since hearing about Lord Quintus, I confess I've many and more thoughts on the subject. Few can deny he was a man of principle, misguided though he may have been. Yeah, I think that's probably true on both those counts. Alizé. Everything's going to be alright now. Boy, is that not true. This is still the level 83 main quest that we're on, I think. God, Pigeon, what do you want? Lest you worry, Pigeon has a clean litter, he's been fed and watered, he has his belly rubbed, he's been played with, he's just a loud cat. Astinian. I know not how to offer encouragement or solace to these poor souls, but if it's safe passage to our camp they need, I'll gladly oblige. Yep, you can do that. Decimus. Lord Quintus was our rock in the storm, and now we are without a leader, without direction. Nevertheless, we must live on, even if that means consorting with our former enemies. Well, what do you want? Nothing. Nothing I want. I want nothing. Malleus. Get out of my ear, will you? I'm exhausted. The last thing I need is you and your drivel. No problem. I'm out of here. Are the Mender and Junkmonger who are like, we're not going to share our spoils with you, you fools. I guess you are now. Junkmonger? Yeah. Okay. Sabinianus. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it. Rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there is a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So, take me. Take me with you, please. Yeah, we got you. I can walk, I think. Just give me a few more moments. Just so defeated. This is brutal to see. This is really brutal. Decenus. Our leader may be gone, and the world may be falling to ruin, but my duty to my people will never change. Such is the life of a soldier. Graha. Try as we might, any words of comfort we may offer are likely to fall on deaf ears. I think it's even worse than that. I think they're likely to be salt in the wounds. We are but strangers from foreign lands, perhaps in their eyes the very cause of their suffering to begin with. Nevertheless, we mustn't give up. Agreed on that. Kaiso. Well, we got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where the lot of you are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Where's Daddy? Did he... Yeah, Daddy's... Okay. Is there going to be... Yeah, there's still the blood stain there, and Julius is just looking at it. Julius. Why? I think he knows why. Alphino. This is where it happened. Thancred. Best not to dwell on it. Not when there's work to be done. I guess. And so we got some side quests that opened up here, but let's see if we can continue with this main quest for the moment. Flavius. Ah, it's you. The one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning, until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. I have a feeling you're in the exception. Not the... No, I think... Actually, no, it seems like most people are willing to accept it. I think the exception are going to be the ones who really hold out, no matter what. Alphino. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass. What we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Yes, they are. A number of them are. Oh, thank the 12. Thank the 12. Thancred. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Laminsan friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. Are the Conqueror's Chains those collars that they put on the twins? I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Okay, but before we do that, let's take a look at some of the side quests here, because we want to help these people out. And it looks like they are now willing to ask for our help. So, with the time I have left in this session, we'll probably do some of the littler side quests, and then we'll do the plus side quest next time. Temple Knight. Some like it hot. A Temple Knight at the station has bowls of piping hot soup to deliver, though they are in danger of becoming tepid before reaching the hungry. This is one of the few times I'd accept a timed quest. Good day, Kakushu. I say, is it your stomach which drew you here? I'm just sitting about the business of dispensing meals. So much has transpired in so little time, 'tis hardly a wonder that so few citizens can sleep for more than a fistful of hours. And that's why I have taken it upon myself to feed these people with an Ishgardian soup, one that always helped calm my nerves when I was a child. Though it won't fix all that ails these poor souls, it may prove to be some comfort, surely. Here's the rub, though. I lack the hands needed to see it delivered in a timely manner. Might you assist me? Of course, 100%. You will. You are a hero of the people, indeed. Here are 3 bowls of piping hot soup. Could you see that those around the station who appear especially woebegone receive some? Absolutely, we'll happily do so. Let's see if they accept the soup. Malleus. This is the one who didn't want to hear my drivel. What in the world is that? For pity's sake, get it away from me. You'll make me sick with that foreign trash you lads call food. It's from cold climes. It may be to your liking, yeah. Oh, enough. What are you, some 2-gill salesman? I'll take the damnable thing if it'll shut you up. Piping hot soup, a broth of Ermiance's design. Few are those who can resist its delectable scent and inviting curls of steam. Oh. Oh my. Oh, that is nice, isn't it? And so warm. The hells are you looking at, then? I've got my food, now off with you. What, afraid I'll run off with the bowl, are you? Not that hard up as to resort to stealing. I can get it back to the cook just fine on my own. Well, you're welcome, I guess. Alright, next we got papaya. What's this? Soup, you say? That's very kind of you. Here you go. Enjoy. It's been far too long since I had a hot meal. Can't rightly remember the last time. God, this has been a rough time for them. It keeps hitting me in new ways. Let me guess, this is an Ishgardian soup, isn't it? My mother used to make something similar once upon a time. It was a red soup, well known in these parts. Thank you for bringing me this reminder of happier days. Days I hope to see return to our country. You are welcome. This makes me wonder what the aftermath of, like, Germany in 1945-46 was like. It must have been just utter devastation. Like, specifically for just German citizens there. It must have been just poverty and just utter devastation. Irascible citizen. So, first you march into our homeland, easy as you please, and now you tell us what foods we're to eat. Oh, it's just very rich indeed. But let me tell you something, you little weasel. I spit on your charity, you hear? Spit on it. So you can take that soup of yours and stuff it where the sun don't shine. Yeah, that was not unexpected. Especially from someone whose mother named them irascible citizen. Alright, get through the boxes and return to this temple night. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Did you manage to deliver the soup like I asked? Most of it. Oh, turned away by one surly citizen, were you? That's unfortunate, although not entirely surprising. The people here have been through more than most. I'm not a stranger entire to their pain. When Ishgard was in dire straits, I too found myself fatigued beyond measure, my spirits in the doldrums. I was hanging on by a quickly unraveling thread. It felt, and hope was nothing more than a risible dream. Good word, risible, I like that word. But it was at the holy stables when a woman, one I had never met before, offered me a simple bowl of soup. I was in such a dark, foul mood at the time, but one sip was enough to turn my whole world around. I felt alive again, like I had purpose once more. Good soup can do that. I thought to emulate that charity, do for these people what that kindly lady did for me. But you know what they say, even the best laid plans and all that. Well, I won't let one fractious local dampen my spirits. I'm only sorry you had to deal with them. I appreciate that, but I'm okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Next is, let's talk to Amanyu. And then a hero comes along. The state of affairs in this corner of the world has left many sick and hungry, Amanyu and his daughter not least among them. That's right, you really care about her deeply. A moment, good lady, if you've one to spare. My daughter is taken ill with a menace of a cold. She can hardly keep a bite of food down, though I know that a simple bowl of kasha will be easy on the stomach and be enough to sustain her. Oh, kasha is great. Kasha is delicious. I mean, it's like buckwheat, isn't it? Something like that. Unfortunately, I lack the buckwheat seeds that the recipe calls for. The abandoned market ought to have what I require, but I do not fancy my chances in a place so dangerous. Besides, I dare not leave my girl alone for an extended period. This illness of hers waxes and wanes from moment to moment, and the last thing I want is to be away when her fever spikes or a coughing fit assails her. Please, could you help? Absolutely. You will? Oh, you are a merciful, kind soul. Here, I shall mark on your map where the seeds are to be likely found. Giving the containers a thorough once-over should soon yield results. Let's go make some kasha. Alack, there appears to be no sign of the seeds, but you did come across a box of medical supplies. Would you like to bring these supplies back to the man and his sick daughter? Yes. I mean, there's this saying that, like, soup is the best medicine, but medicine is an even better medicine than soup. Stuffed bear. No sign of any seeds in the area. However, during your search, you stumble upon a stuffed toy bear. Yeah, we'll bring this back as well. I wonder if we said no, if that does anything different. Or if we just have to say yes to continue with the quest. Foodstuffs container. Here's the buckwheat. Maybe. You are met with a congeries of seeds? Some are too soft, some too hard, but these seem just right. Alright. Alright. Back to Google we go. Congery. Oh, congeries. I guess it only functions as a plural. A collection of objects or ideas. A mass. A heap. Huh. I'd never heard that word before. We met with a congeries of... Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got some seeds. Nice. And hey, it's that it looks like that side quest from that fate quest is continuing from before. The artificial malevolence, the drone army. Ebrino once defected from the Empire. Oh, I'm not range. Once defected from the Empire, and he now returns to his former home as a member of the Garlean Ironworks. His investigation into Garlemald's latest Magitech weaponry has taken a dangerous turn, so it falls to you to save him from technology he once helped create. Ah, that's why Ebrino is doing this. Were you able to find anything of note, Keltlona? No such luck. It all looks like junk to me. Alas, my search proved equally unproductive. However, there's another location that's worth a try. Yeah, so this is going to keep going. We are now close to the munitions factory. Huh. I don't want to get ahead of myself by going before we've done the like the quests have normally taken us to that area, but I'll keep an eye out on that. I got you some goodies, Amanyu. And little Amanyu. There you are, and none the worse for wear. Oh, that look on your face. I take it to mean you've found the seeds, then? Buckwheat seeds, though the bag is on the smaller side, its heft and weight mean it is filled nigh to bursting with buckwheat seeds. Yeah, now you just have to turn these into kasha and cook it. You have? Oh, how wonderful! This ought to brighten my daughter's spirits, and hopefully entice her to put a bit of food in her belly. Why, Look at all you've brought. Medicine, a toy bear. I didn't even ask for... Goodness, I'm so touched. You're too kind, truly. No worries. I am the Warrior of Light, and I am quite something. My life lately, if one can even call it that, has been consumed by concern. Concern for my daughter's safety, where her next meal will come from, but your good deed today was a bright spot in these bleak times. To tell the truth, you are not the first to show us unexpected compassion. Being from the provinces, I feared the Garleans here would turn us away, but they offered us food and shelter. If it weren't for them, we may not be alive today. And now we owe a debt of gratitude to you and your content. Yeah, I'm glad to see that, like, there is kindness here among the Garleans to people who could be called savages. They're from the provinces, but they're not Eorzeans, but still but not these people. Thanks to you, my daughter will grow strong again, and of this I'm sure. While I can't offer you much, I want you to have this, and I will not take no for an answer. King crab cake. Tender, spiny king crab meat fills this crispy fried pastry, which is topped with a spoonful of creamy herb-filled sauce. Boy, for someone who is just hoping for some buckwheat kasha, you are cooking like a king. Okay, let me open up the Aetheryte, and I think that's going to be it for me for this session. Next time we will continue with the side quests here in Tertium. And I am liking this part a lot. I'm liking seeing the perspective of the Garleans here, whether from the ones who are fighting us or the ones who are just kind of abashed and hoping that we'll take afraid of us, and the ones who are just too tired to care at this point. So that's going to be it for me for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.